you know, we all know Apple, but yeah, pretty crazy that ideally will get Nvidia going. I know some guys at the desk today took Nvidia out long, meaning they're holding overnight. Yeah, Elon too. Elon's saying that they're probably going to end up paying Nvidia 3 to 4 billion on whatever deal it was. I just kind of saw that number pretty much. But oh yeah, definitely, Kenny, for sure. Um, I do think. Hang on, I think someone may be talking. Is there a hot mic? Fix it. Anyways, where was I? Um, it seems like no, I muted him. It's all good. 1,200 seems to kind of be the target for pre-split. So everyone that Farouk might call you out a little bit here. For a lot of the people that don't like Nvidia because of how expensive it is, and believe me, it's what's up, Chris. It's an expensive stock. Options are they're monsters, and people with beginner accounts, it's tough to trade. Believe me, I completely understand. However, Friday will be the last day you see that for probably 2-3 years, because it's splitting 10 ways. So let's say Nvidia split right now and the stock is at 1163, it'll be $116 per share. So I think that's the right math there. Yep. Okay. So yeah, that means contracts are going to be cut 10 times down. So the contracts that are $2,000, $2,500, those are going to be $200, right? So it's going to be back in play. However, it's just going to be kind of a slower mover now, right? We're not going to get these $10 candles that I just freaking love because I'm used to it. Yeah, Stickman. Yeah, so I thought it was 2025 too. The day it came out, but yeah, no, it's so Friday will be the last day. Over the weekend, it'll open up on Monday, split 10 times. Yeah, Kenny. So typically, we were talking about this today in some of our meetings. Typically, and I've told you guys this before, you see somewhat of a sell-off right after, right? Because people will have, let's say they have 1 million shares, or they'll then have 10 million shares. You know what I mean? So they'll probably just trim some off and, move on, right? However, right, the dollar amount stays the same. So you can kind of look at it both ways. I think considering NVIDIA as the company that it is, if it was a stock like, I don't know, whatever, stock XYZ, that's not, I don't know, the most popular, strongest stock in the entire US stock market, I would say that you're probably going to see a sell off. However, just like Kenny said, I would expect maybe a little bit of a dip, maybe for like, I don't know, let's just call it an hour, right? Maybe it just kind of sells off. Maybe let's just even be like, conservative here. Let's just say that it sells off on Monday. Nothing crazy, whatever. I would expect it to continue, right? A lot more people can afford this, and I think a lot more people are going to invest in it, right? It's going to be much cheaper. It's going to be 10 times cheaper. So I don't know. Maybe it can go. However, the psychological level that people are targeting at the office right now, and kind of the reason that they like seeing it close really strong like this, because what does it mean when this is closing strong? Well, yeah, of course, the market was a little bit strong, but now that we know that NVIDIA is weighted heavier than Apple, well, if NVIDIA is moving, that's going to pull the whole market, right? It's going to pull SPY. It's going to pull the Qs. So when you're seeing NVIDIA close really strong like this, well, what does it mean? Well, it means that people are buying into this at the last 30 minutes, last hour of the day to hold it overnight. We didn't see much of a move last night, right? On after hours, it ripped up a little bit. This morning, right, I'm up at 4:00 my time, so I literally saw this pretty early morning for me. But I see NVIDIA down 11:30, and so I'm thinking, whoa, down 20 points. Get to my desk in morning meetings. Oh, here it comes. And sure enough, right into open, we make new all-time highs. So you can never count NVIDIA. I mean, this is almost a 30-point move, right? We saw a low of about 1130 here pre-market, and we saw this go all the way up and hit 1158 right before the open. It had a lot of trouble today. Market was super choppy, not a lot of volume. However, once again, this thing closed strong. People are still wanting to get into this overnight. They're buying up any dip they can possibly find. And like I said, I think 1200 is going to be a pretty solid level for people to want to target, especially coming into the split, right? We still have 3 days this week to get in before the split, So even if people have $1,000, right, they're going to want to buy a share so they can then have 10. So who knows, right? Who knows what's going to happen? But I'll stop talking about NVIDIA unless you guys have other questions on that. Sorry, I know that was a lot, Han. I'm editing the name here, so I'll get more people in here. Cool. Let's see what else we get up in here. Sweet buy puts, yeah. Can't believe it's 9 p.m. already. Yeah, it's 8 my time. Don, believe me, I've been up for 17 hours already. So let's see. Yeah, it is this year. 100 shares. Imagine having 100 shares, 250 like that. Now it's going to be 1,000 shares. Yeah, how about that? Pretty crazy, right? So the split, Yoda Bomb, the split is on Monday. So Friday is going to be the last day that this is going to be a big, expensive monster. And I used to trade NVIDIA when it was $800-900 before the original split. They split it. It was cheap again. And now look at us, right? We're at 1160. Yeah, definitely on watch. I mean, again, like I know that a lot of you guys are, I'm not going to say mad at me, but you don't love that I'm focusing on this pretty heavily because it's expensive. But this is just what's in play. This is what the big money guys are watching. This is where the volume is. This is where the money is. So that's where I'm going to be. And, I know that you want to make money on it. You want to be able to trade it. And if you can't, be disciplined enough to just watch, learn from it. Because maybe in 2 years from now, you do have a nice account and you can trade it. So watch the contracts, paper trade it if you want, do a, pretend buy and sell, just, use your imagination and go from there. On watch my long-term account, I want to get in on it while it's cheap. Yeah. I mean, this is as much as I don't recommend buying at all-time highs. I mean, for a 10-year investment, I mean, this is probably pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's NVDL. There's a couple other ones. AMD, yeah, AMD sucks. Well, you kind of think, you're seeing some stocks that are weak right now that typically aren't. And from what I've been hearing at the office and, even just kind of like memes online, it's like people are just selling other stocks to throw money in NVIDIA. Everyone wants a piece of this. Everyone wants to make some money on this. Will that last forever? No. So I don't want to be the guy continuing to chase it over and over and over again. But while it's hot before the split, right? That's a catalyst. A split is a catalyst that will last for a little while, right? Let's say that we get Tesla news one morning, it's hot for a day or two, and it kind of dies off. For something that's this strong, and we have a split coming at the end of the week, I mean, it's just been in play for the last month. So that's why I've paid so much attention to it. And I've made some pretty good money on NVIDIA. I'm not gonna lie, it's been great. I did make a little money on it today later in the day, but again, I watch from 6:30 my time, so 7:30 Eastern, all the way until close. So I watch every second of the day right now. And believe me, so, you guys that know me, you know that I love having a 30-minute work day, and even I love a 5-minute work day even more. So. Let's see. What are some other names that are going off? One name, Farouk, I know you're talking about this. Unfortunately, though, the trade idea that has been talked about in the office is actually taking this short. Is it a guarantee? Is it like, the biggest trade idea there? No. They're thinking, okay, well, this really kind of failed having any sort of gap fill on this, and it's rolling over. So they're just going to wait for lows here and play through 225 and look for a move kind of down into 200. Is that a guarantee? Of course not. This could easily bounce back up into the gap. Another one is going to be CRM, Salesforce. They are looking to short this as well. This is a pretty decent trade. Kind of looking back under 230, kind of the same deal, right? We've typically, and I've taught you guys this before, typically when you look for a gap fill, the first target on a gap fill is halfway. Is that to the penny? No, of course not. But just psychologically, right after a big earnings dip or earnings pop and it rolls over halfway, you kind of look for a reversal, right? So could this continue higher? Of course. Is there a good trade idea to the downside and the upside? Yeah. The number 2 watch for me, other than NVIDIA, is going to be Meta. This one's probably one of the most popular ones. NVIDIA and Meta are my 2 favorite, and that is correlating perfectly with what others are thinking as well. I wanted today to be the day, but we ran into chop, so it's all good. I am looking, this is going to be a beautiful trade. If it works the right way, we get a strong day in the market. Maybe tomorrow's the day. Maybe NVIDIA wants to go on a run up to 1,200 tomorrow. Market's ripping. Meta's going to follow. Yeah, Meta is, I wouldn't say coiling up. When I talk about coiling up, a lot of the times I'm talking about a wedge, right? Because the wedge will be nice and big, and then it starts to coil up like this, right? It starts getting down into that point. So you could still say that Meta is coiling up here, but it's just in a consolidation. So one way or the other, this will break, right? Buyers or sellers will move, or one of them will win, right? Right now they're just kind of battling. I like the upside. I don't like the downside. So through 480, is it a guarantee? No, we have a high here at 482.50. So through 480, going to be looking for just a momentum day in the market, right? We see SPY ripping, we see NQ ripping. Meta's got volume. Play the 480 calls, get in right before the break. Look for this to go up above 480, hold, and then it's just you kind of look for this high here, 482.50, and then we're into the gap. Am I looking for a $10 move on this? No. The ATR on Meta, which is something I haven't really talked about with you guys before, is average true range. You can look it up for any stock with a simple Google search. I don't even know where to look it up on Thinkorswim because it's just not typically something that I look at, but I'm always reminded of it every summer when I go and intern. However, the average true range for Meta is $11.35. That means on average, Meta will move $11.35 per day. So it probably is in settings for us, or in studies, I'm sure it is. But right now it's a waiting game, right? Do I want to be getting in right now and just swinging this, waiting? Not necessarily. Could I make more money doing that? Maybe. Could I be patient and wait and just wait for that one day and catch, the bulk of that move and make as much or more? Sure. So to me, that's more my style. And I think you guys know that. So I'm simply waiting for Meta to get that volume, get that momentum, and we'll catch that, guys. So that'll be a trade that I'm sure all of us can take, especially later on in the week when the contracts are cheaper. So that'll be fun. What's up, Lee? Let's see, what do we got here? What is this link? Elon Musk ordered NVIDIA to ship thousands of AI chips reserved for Tesla next year. Oh, yeah. And Elon said it'll be 3 to 4 billion over time. Oh, he also wrote in a post on X a few days later that Tesla would spend $10 billion this year in combined trading inference AI. Huh. Well, I like 10 more than 3 or 4. That's good. That's really good. Bought at top and breakout, held over weekend, hit stop loss Monday. Yeah, Donald Trump news kind of screwed things up. Yeah, Lee, we got sexy Farouk in here now. Can you take okay, over here on Twitter, can you take a look at Alibaba option calls? I can look at them. If you could point me in the right direction on kind of what you're thinking, what's your trade idea? Are you looking for calls? Well, okay, so you are looking for calls. Um, are you looking for long-term play, short-term play? Mr. Thought Process. A little bit more description there, and I can help you out. It's just kind of a broad question. Discord, you guys got anything else for me? Pretty good amount of people in here. I'd love to see it. I hope that means y'all just miss me live trading. Who'd y'all have today? Bull? Leap calls. I don't necessarily need to look at Farouk. I'll get to you in one sec. So Mr. Thought Process, I don't necessarily need to look at the calls. I'm not a leap call trader. However, I do know that Michael Burry is heavily invested in Alibaba. I think that that's probably a pretty good sign to possibly get into leap calls. Am I going to take that trade? No, but that's just not the style of trader that I am. We do have guys in the Discord here that do leap calls. They're really good at it. So, for anyone that's on other platforms, I highly, highly recommend that you get into the Discord. Don, you can't hear me? What's going on? Can everyone else? It looks like my mic's still working. Okay, Farouk, let's look at PLTR. So you said that Mr. Quench bought the, what was it, 25 calls? 25 calls. What was the expiration on that again? So I don't want to scroll all the way up there. Okay, August 21. Okay, so August 21 would be over here. I think that's plenty of time. I love how it's kind of used this $20 area here to bounce. I think that's pretty great. Obviously, it's a swing trade, so it's not something that I do on a day-to-day basis. But 25 is what, $3 away. I think that's very doable. They just had earnings, fell back down. We do have, it looks like we have a little bit of a gap up in here as well. From here all the way to here. So up through like 22.75 and then 23. It looks pretty solid to me. It looks pretty solid to me. So honestly, not a whole lot more I can go in on that, just because, again, it's just not my style. But I 100% agree with that trade idea. August 21st, that gives you some time, right? That's what I would want you to do. Yeah, Bull took a real quick spy put. I caught a tad, but QQQ. Nice. Nice. Okay, Thought Process. OKLO. Don't know that one. I'm guessing you're talking about leaps again. Again, I need a little bit of description here, a little bit of kind of point me in the right direction here, so I know where you're thinking and if I can agree or disagree with it. I don't really know much about the stock. It looks like it's been really hot lately, starting to fall back down. I'll go back to that if you can give me a little bit more of an idea of what you're thinking. Take a look at Peloton. Calls looking cheap. Well, what calls, what expiration are we looking at? I don't mean to sound critical, guys, but with broad questions, I can only give broad answers. You know what I mean? So if you don't necessarily know exactly how to ask a question, just try, and I can try to point you in the right direction. Farouk, briefly, what's a leap call? So leap call is going to be like a call or a put, just an option contract for a year out, pretty much. The next year, whether that's a year out, 2 years out, 3 years out, it's just a really long-term call. Check out Apple on a year chart. Okay, hang on one sec. Expiration September 2024. Okay, so that's about what, 3 months out. Call's looking cheap. I mean, 3 months out, depending on the strike price, you know, I mean, I guess I can go into this. Not many options here, but yeah, very cheap. There's some pretty good open interest on the $5 calls. They're only about 33 to 39 bucks. That's pretty cheap to me. You know, you get in the money, $2 move here, you know, 39 bucks turns into 100, depending on how quickly it happens. So I think it looks pretty good. Check out Apple chart. So Apple has an event coming up. It's WWDC Worldwide. I don't think it's development. It might be development. Worldwide D conference. I think it's development though. So that's coming up. However, looking back in time, this is something that we actually worked on today. Looking back in time, I believe 4 out of the 5 times they've had this conference, it sells off after. So could it run up into this? Sure. But statistically speaking, it ends up selling off. However, maybe there's some unexpected, really good news. Apple's up here by all-time highs, like a lot of things are, and it could run. You know, we all know Apple. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this go much, much further. I see someone here in the Discord is deafened, so I know they can't hear me, but JT 920. Leap, long equity anticipation securities, RB, I'd love that. Can you take a look at SMCI? Looking like it can have, okay, hang on one sec. Vans was first here. Can you look at Costco? Looks like at all-time highs, continue momentum tomorrow, possibly. Yes. So Costco is another name I've been hearing on the desk. And yeah, I mean, you know, obviously it's a very, very strong stock. Could it continue? I would not be surprised whatsoever. You know, is there an amazing setup here? I don't know. You know, I mean, I wouldn't consider this the most beautiful breakout here. There wasn't much structure. It just kind of ran, pulled back, kind of consolidated here, ran up, not much of a pullback here, and it just kind of is still chugging along. So is it something that I would be wanting, you know, on my top watch? I don't think so, but I think it could easily be a pretty solid continuation play. I would just have tight stops. Uh-oh, Quinch is in the building. Let me put my headphones on. It's a packed house tonight. I love this. What's up, everybody? You guys on other platforms, Discord is popping tonight. You guys need to be in here. You're not going to get much on on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You're going to see our free streams, but you're seeing about 5% of what we offer here. So keep that in mind. We have a lot of products to offer here. Hemisphere says, get a Telegram. Well, Telegram is just not as efficient as Discord. Maybe something we can consider. But, we have indicators here that we offer. We have different coaching corners, whether you want to learn day trading, swing trading, options, strategies, technical analysis. We got Rags to Riches, where we do long-term investments. We got pretty much everything you could ask for. And we're even doing an in-person boot camp at the end of July, where we are trading live and teaching in person at a resort in Florida. Hang on, I think I'm missing some stuff here. What's up, Quench? Sorry, Latvian. Let me go look. Hang on, I'm trying to catch up to all the chats here. It's popping tonight. I love it. Hang on, let's see what you got over here on Twitter. AI sector is hot. Any suggestions other than NVIDIA? Maybe data centers or power plant plays? Yeah, I don't have any tickers off the top of my head. Maybe there's some guys over here in the Discord that do know some and are maybe looking to trade it. But again, there's just so much information here. I want to focus on exactly what I'm good at and exactly what I'm good teaching at. So, another reason to come hop over here. Let's see what else. Okay, Latvian. Let me go look here, man. I got to scroll up. If you want to reply to it okay, here we go. This is where times and sales messes me up. At that time, when all those shares were bought for NVIDIA, there wasn't a significant candle. Could you go over that? So that's kind of hard. That's just the closing print. So that's where imbalances are going to be. Imbalances are kind of hard to explain. And to be honest with you, I'm not that well versed on them. Some people trade them for a living. Pretty much what that means is there was 1.17 million shares today that were to the buy side. So those shares had to get filled. Does that mean that that was one massive order? No. That just means that many shares got sold or got sold to the buy side. So meaning there was that many buy orders right at the close. Volume doesn't, well, there is a ton of volume right at the close today, right? That's why you see this crazy volume spike and not much of a move. So, okay, if I buy, let's say that I buy Apple stock and 1 million shares get bought at, you know what, let's just use NVIDIA because it's up on my screen. If 1 million shares get bought at 1163, but there's no shares that get bought at 1163 and 1 cent, well, NVIDIA is not going to move anywhere. The reason stocks go up and down is because people are paying higher and selling lower for that specific name, right? So I hope that makes sense. When I look at walls and stuff, again, that's just for volume. That's kind of for a supply and demand perspective. Right at the close of the day, yes, that many shares got executed at that one specific price, but no other shares were executed, with that quantity at much higher prices. So just because a lot of shares get bought or sold at one price doesn't mean the stock price is necessarily going to move because no one's buying it higher or lower than that price. Does that make sense, Latvian? I think that was your question, right? Yeah, Quench, there we go. I would love to get that on. You know what? Let me see if I can put this on StreamYard if you're still listening. Let's see, banners, create banner. Bam. Gonna do that. Gonna show that. I'm also going to put it in the comment section for anyone that is watching on other platforms. There's our Get a Coaches link right there that you can go to, watch kind of the intro video on what it offers. Latvian, what I can go more in depth into that if you want. Ask away, guys. On your screenshot, Ethan, there was a buy for 1634.001. All right, so I guess I will go find that really quick. Yeah, okay, so there was 781 shares that got sold at $1,164 and 0.0001 cent. So, remember, with supercomputers trading the markets, you're going technically there are transactions that go through for less than a penny. RB pretty much just going to be shorting pops until something substantial happens. Right now, it's just not. So the thought process behind GME right now, yes, it's fun, but think about how many people got screwed over on the squeeze 3 years ago. a lot of them are going to want to get out for, small loss, maybe break even, maybe even green. The first squeeze, everyone wanted to pile into it, and that's why it had such a crazy move. On all these 2-3 day squeezes that really aren't that crazy, you got to think a lot of people are just trying to get out, take profits, move on. It's not as substantial as it was. Could it be? Yes. Do we know when that's going to happen? No. So until then, it's just like GME doesn't trade that well during the day. The crazy moves are pre-market and after hours. And for anyone trading options, you can't execute any orders then. During the day, it's very choppy. There's a lot of manipulation. You saw, so E-Trade came out and said they're considering removing Roaring Kitty from their platform. And that they're kind of just pulling every trick out of the bag right now, right? They can only halt the stock so much. They can only do so much to try to stop this guy, to help stop the bleeding on their end. So if they have to take him off E-Trade, then it sounds like that's what they're trying to do. So, yeah, it sounds like Kitty's funded by someone, Quench. That's the that's kind of the talk in the office as well. So right when that news came out, my initial thought was, okay, let's think back to the original squeeze. Let's say that he realized all of his gains, which we know he didn't. He didn't make over $50 million. Where did he get 200? He got money from somewhere. Is he trying to save himself? Does he think he can do it again? Maybe. Is it ego? I don't know. Do you trust him or do you not? I don't think he's out to get people. I do think he has somewhat of a good heart, but when money's involved, you never really know what's going to happen. Like, I'm thinking that volume would be large when that many shares. So yeah, Lavian, the volume was large. So you saw that. Look at the volume here. This is the candle right before the close of day. We saw 205,818 volume. The next candle where you saw that order was 1.2 million. So 5 times as big, pretty much. What day trade ideas are you looking at for the rest of the week? So definitely NVIDIA and Meta. I went over those early on, but I will close out the night going over my ideas again for anyone that missed it, just because we have a lot more people in here now. Got to run. All right, RB, take care, man. Thanks for being here. Aerosmell, hey, Ethan, can you talk about how you find your optimal setups? What exactly are you looking for in a chart, and when do you decide how to enter? Exactly. Good setup. Maybe not NVIDIA. Maybe something more affordable. Yeah. So, again, every day is different, right? That's kind of a pro and con of the stock market. It kind of makes every day fun, but it also means that nothing is set in stone. Your job is to react logically to what's happening in front of you. That's why you have rules. That's why we teach you guys structure. That's why we have multiple coaches with multiple different ideas that bounce ideas off each other. It's why we have the community that we do, so we can all learn together. However, to answer your question, an ideal setup for me, and again, this is my style, my kind of trading. It doesn't matter what stock it is. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or if it's one of the cheaper names that I trade, like Apple or AMD or Micron or Google. An ideal setup for me is a big time frame level. It's something where on a yearly chart you can see something. I do want to point out something here in a little bit, but I'm going to finish this point. Look at NVIDIA here around the original all-time high before this break. We had the crazy run up. Obviously, I know you don't want me to go over NVIDIA, but there's a couple principles and rules here I want to go over first. NVIDIA broke out of this. So we can even go back to this 500 level before this, this initial crazy squeeze here. Let me back up a little bit more. So right here at 500, what do we see? Well, stock is obviously strong. We have a pretty key level here, a psychological level of $500 per share. Okay. So we get the run up near it. We hit about 480, pulls back in, pushes up, rejects 500 again, pushes up, rejects 500 again, pushes up, rejects 480, pushes back up, rejects 500 again, pushes up, rejects 500 again, pushes up, rejects 500 again. So what does that mean? Well, that means 500 is a very key level. Do I know exactly when 500 will break? No. My job isn't to know that. My job is to be there on the day that it does break and does bring volume and bring that continuation, because then your risk to reward will work, right? Even if I tried and got caught a couple times here on 500, that's why we have rules. That's why we practice risk management. So our losses are small and our winners are much bigger, right? So let's say that I tried to take this trade and I stopped out every for $2 or $3 over and over and over again. Well, on the winner, well, I mean, obviously this is kind of an outlier here, but we ran up to almost $1,000, right? Almost 100% move. So that's when your winner has to be bigger than your your loser, right? That's how everything is going to work. So again, back to the point. I know 500 is a key level. I want to be there on the day that it breaks, and my job is to be patient and manage my risk. So all I'm looking for is, like I said, I'm just waiting for that day, and then I could take advantage of it. So again, this is on a big time frame. I can go up here and give you another example. Really strong move up. Big reason why I don't chase highs. Over and over again, I'm not chasing highs. I want to see a pullback. Same principle applies for smaller time frames. So we ripped from 500 up to 974, finally got the pullback. Okay, maybe this is the real first dip you can buy. Comes back up to 974, and we fall all the way back for a couple months. Come all the way back up in to around 900. And then you see a little chart pattern here, which is one of my lessons where I go over all the chart patterns. So it's not the most perfect thing in the world, but this is somewhat of a bull flag, right? We see our initial rip, consolidates in somewhat of a diagonal manner. You get your break, you get your elevated volume, and here we are, off to the races. We consolidated here for a little bit again, and I want you to notice how similar these candles look right here to where we are right now. Okay, we break through, whatever, we get 2 days of action. I can go into smaller time frame stuff, but all of the trades that I take are at levels where there's big time frame setups, and then I look for the smaller time frame moves where I can take advantage of it. Anyways, I want you to look at this right here. We get our initial move up, we reject 960. All-time high is 974. We pull back in, right? We see about 920, 910, bounce back up, reject again. Once we get into, we got earnings here, but we rip and we go higher, right? Gap up, whatever. Look how similar this looks. Obviously, nothing is identical, right? But we get the rip, we get the pullback, we get a move back to highs. It kind of stalls out for a little bit, 1 or 2 days. Could we rip to 1,200? I mean, doesn't look too far away to me. I don't know about y'all, but roughly $30 away isn't that far. So look at these candles. Rip, pull back, push back to highs, stall, move. Rip, pull back, push back to highs, stall. Could this be the beginning? Sure. I know that's pretty broad, Arismel, and I can go on for an hour about that, so I'm going to move on. But an ideal setup, just to really put a nail in the coffin here, is big time frame levels that are breaking out. I'm a breakout trader. It's why we have many other traders here that do different things. I know that probably was the best explanation there for you, but I was trying to do somewhat of a quick run through of that. Yeah, Kenny, NVIDIA will be a lot cheaper on Monday, guys. So for all of y'all that cannot trade it right now, Monday morning will be good. So back to that. I mean, I know we've kind of talked about NVIDIA all night, but this is just where the action is. For anyone that was late tonight, NVIDIA is splitting Monday, 10-1 split, meaning every share is going to be split 10 ways. If this was any other stock, typically I would tell you, well, most of the time I see a sell-off short term after a split, but NVIDIA is the most popular, the strongest. I think one of these stocks, maybe the top stock for long-term potential. Are people going to load right into it on the split? I wouldn't be surprised. Is that a guarantee? Of course not. But an $1,100 stock down to 100, $110 would be pretty nice for everybody else, right? So, that was kind of sporadic, I know, but there's just so much to cover in such little time. But again, that's kind of where I can go in depth in the premium lessons, Airosmel. I have one more week in my my coach's program, right? The 12-week thing. This week is the 12th week. So for anyone that is in the day trading corner or is wondering what some of the lessons I go over, my final lesson will be reviewing and analyzing trades. So just like you were wanting, that's what you're going to get on Thursday night. So that's actually going to be perfect to wrap things up here. Easy E, that might be a good one, Stickman. I do need a nickname. Ethan's a little bland. Ethan is a little bland. I like that. Easy E. What else you guys got for me? We got 20 minutes here. I've missed y'all. It's been weird being off the mic for 2 days already. Someone asked about SMCI. Good point. So SMCI. So it's interesting, right? You see SMCI kind of weak. AMD decently weak as well. Micron, one of the stronger ones, and Intel extremely weak as well. So it's kind of weird. It's like obviously NVIDIA is in this same sector, right? So it's almost like big money guys are selling off Intel, selling off some AMD, selling off SMCI, and pouring that money into NVIDIA right now just because NVIDIA is the name, right? So I know I've already said that a 1,000 times, but I want to make sure you all understand kind of what's going on here. So back to SMCI. To me, it's not really something that I want to trade right now. There's no split news. It's been weak. It's going to be a little bit harder for me to gauge this, especially if the market's strong. I don't want to be trying to short a stock when the market's strong. If the market rolls over or there's some negative news on SMCI, that'll complement the weakness, and that gives me a very high probable trade there. Just trying to short it because it looks weak, to me, just isn't enough check marks on my criteria for me to take that trade there. So yeah, Quinch, I mean, that's just insane. You're about to have a ton of shares, my friend. It's awesome. Yeah, AMD looks really weak. Intel, that's a short play. I know some people are on. There is okay, for you guys in the day trading corner, I sent a video by SMB Capital on, and I hope I think Vans watched it. And Vans, you're gonna remember this if you did. The bouncy ball setup. What happens when you drop a bouncy ball? It hits the ground. It bounces. The next bounce is smaller. The next bounce is smaller, and then it just kind of sits still. Right? It's flat on the floor. And then think about the ball breaking through the floor. Well, what is this? I want you to look at this and say, okay, well, maybe this is kind of where we drop the ball. Kind of see some bounces here, and it's starting to just kind of chill out here, right at a pretty nice dollar level here, $30. I mean, how perfect is that? Obviously, it's not to the penny, but you can kind of see like right in this area, sitting at 30. Why wouldn't Intel be strong when something else in its sector is the strongest name, across the board? Well, it probably means that Intel's just not keeping up. It's not being innovative enough, not as good as NVIDIA. I would say AMD is probably second. Micron's actually chart looks better than AMD. AMD's a bit weak. But again, I want you to keep this in your mind right here, okay? Big move down, couple bounces, just kind of gets nice and slow here. I hope that some of y'all could guess this because we took this trade. Look at this. Here's a bouncy ball setup. ideally it comes into a catalyst. So look at this, right? BA was bouncing right off 200. I talked about this for weeks, waiting for this to break. And then some more bad news came out, and the setup happened perfectly. It's typically a 3-bar move. Yes, there was a little bit more in this, but if you guys watched that video from SMB, I would like to recreate that video actually. And Quinch, Duck, anyone that's in here, we should try to recreate that in Florida. I think that'll be good for Quinch to do. I mean, we can all get up and talk, but keep that in mind. I'm going to send that in the admin chat. Intel missed it on the cell phone components. Okay, that would make sense. My Discord's lagging. There's so many people in here. That is a good problem to have. Wait, so let me throw my headphones on. All right, go for it. Yeah, but it's a video of him up on stage with with the presentation and stuff, talking trading, and then does Q&A at the end. Got 200 people on Twitter. What's up, everybody? If you have questions, ask away. YouTube, you too. Whole new session, yeah. So I'm gonna do some. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, get in now before we restart. Yeah, who in here likes some of my trades? There we go. Moneymaker likes to troll me here and there. Yeah, sweet guys. So yeah, for y'all that are in the day trading corner, and I'm sure that the other coaches are going to do this as well because we're all kind of wrapping up. I'm gonna do some sort of survey, or we'll kind of do a personal. I'll probably ask it on Thursday night just because it's just going to be us. But I'm gonna go over all the topics that I went over. Are there any ones that y'all would like to add, change, take away? All that. Obviously, all my recordings are going to be there for you guys, so you can always go back and do that. I think it's the right thing to do to add some other topics. These were, again, kind of basic stuff, the building blocks of day trading. And so yeah, we'll go from there, right? My job is to teach you guys what you want to learn the best way, right? I can teach you, obviously I want to point you in the right direction, and I'm going to come up with the topics, but I want to make it as beneficial as I can for you guys. So any sort of constructive criticism, I will take gladly. I want it to be as enjoyable as possible, but also as effective. I'm making crypto duck. There we go. I love it. Well, guys, I got about 10 more minutes here. I'll hang out for a little bit longer if we need. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me just a trend line here for you. Yeah, I mean, pretty much every time we get back into this 20 to 23, $22.50 range, that's kind of where this thing launch pads again. So do we want any of you guys just randomly buying highs over $40 a share? No, right? I think we preach that plenty. Quinch gives out amazing levels. If you guys just follow those and use risk management, I think a lot of y'all done good. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree that, I mean, you just think a lot of people that may have gotten caught in the one 3 years ago are just like, screw this, I'm getting out, I'm taking it quick. It's not so much a personal thing anymore against the banks. Yeah. I'm not surprised. No way. Yeah. Yeah, and I can even go back to that chart over here where they started halting that down. Let's do that. Look at these halts down. So this was about a good 30 minutes. So look, this was, let's see, these are 5 minute candles here. So, but you can see the gaps, right? These gaps are where the halts were, guys. And this was, every halt took about 5 to 10 minutes to then unhalt. So I mean, think about how much time that this actually ended up taking. I mean, for you guys that live traded this with me, I'm sure you remember watching this. This was just crazy. Yeah. Yeah, no reason to get caught. I mean, you just use your levels, use Quinch's levels, and no need to bag hold. Be smart. Don't trade this with full size like you would a normal name. Let's see, May 30. Yeah, yeah. Anytime this thing comes down here under like 24, 23, even, I mean, 22, ideally. And this is just launch pad area. Yeah, we just went over this before you came in. I do like this trade. Farouk was talking about it, the August 21st, 25 calls, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like this. I mean, it's held this $20 area really nicely. Yeah. Yeah. And you got this gap above. It's just another, yeah, hold above 22. This thing could be gone. When Palantir wants to go, I mean, we all know that this thing will just start ripping. So yeah, it even came down into this kind of support here too. I mean, this whole area. It's literally the bottom. That's insane. Farouk, you caught it too. Nice. I love that everyone showed up tonight. This is great. I wasn't expecting this. Yeah. This is prime time. True. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Who got in time? Latvia, I know you're coming. Yeah, moneymaker. We got indicators here. I could pull it up, but yeah, share your screen if you want. I never use Trading Views, so it'd be a lot better. And you could show off stocks, buddy. Yeah, we're about to pull it up for you. So Moneymaker, you got to go watch his screen now. Pop up there and watch his too. I'll keep mine up too if anyone wants to. You can kind of go back and forth. No, hang on, it's not up. It was for a second. I think you accidentally closed it. Does anyone see Quinch's screen? It was up for a sec, but I think you, yeah. Yeah. Everyone see that okay? Oh man, I didn't even know that. That's awesome. For anyone that's listening on Twitter and YouTube, Quench, I'm sharing the Discord screen, so all the guys on other platforms are getting to see this too. I don't think they can hear you though, so I'm gonna just kind of reiterate what you said. So this indicator here is on TradingView, and it is you said 99 a month, right? Yeah. Okay, so 99 a month, but it's half that if you are in our premium section. So another reason to get in the Discord here, guys. We got so much to offer. It's actually pretty crazy. Yeah, we got it up. Yeah. It's good stuff. There you go. There's Duco's link right there. Packed house. Heck yeah. I love it too. It's kind of all spontaneous. All us guys hopped in here with no plans. Who we got in here? We got Porter in here. Duck was in here. Nikki's in here. Mr. Beerman and the intern. What's up? Well, guys, I've had an extremely long day. So, we got any last minute questions? Any other tickers you want me to cover real quick? I know it's kind of boring, just me talking about Nvidia and Meta, but right now, to me, those are some of my favorite setups for some day trades. Let's see here. Yeah, Pookie's going to be in trouble, Duco, huh? GCT. Let's check it out. So, Giga Cloud Technology A. Oh, something else I want to talk about is Berkshire Hathaway before I end the night. Well, what's the so Maestro? What's your trade idea here? What are you looking for? You looking long? You looking short? You know, it's kind of hard for me to just make up a trade idea on a stock that I don't know about. I'm trying to buy calls, trying to buy puts, doing a spread with bull. Well, you type that up, Maestro. Possible short term, Possible short term and then long after dip. Okay, so short for the short term, I think is what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I mean, I could kind of see this going both ways, man. We're kind of just sitting in a little bit of a range here. So I think for me as a trader, I'm not going to try to trade within this range. I'm going to wait for a break of one way. So whether we break under 30 and fall back down into 25, I think that would be very, very doable. If we hold, come down into 30 and bounce, maybe you could actually see even some sort of a buy here at 30. Let it go back up to the top of the range. If it fails, then you're still in the green. If it breaks through, then that's kind of where the upside could be. I don't know if this is a fundamental trade for you. I don't know kind of how like long term you're looking. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, hang on. I've got some other tickers here. ALAB, long-term thoughts. So again, remember, I'm a day trader. So I don't know if y'all have looked into fundamentals. I don't know exactly, what you guys are kind of planning here long term. Is this 6 months? Is it 10 years? But however, for me, from a technical standpoint, pulling down in here to the $60 level, it seems like a pretty solid support. I could easily see this bouncing. Or we break under 60. To me, it's like maybe this is a buy spot, right? Maybe you come in here and you buy this around 60. If it breaks and holds under 60, then maybe that's your stop loss. So you're risking very little, and then you have a really nice long-term buy. Maybe you just buy like half position. Let it come down in here, buy another half if it gets down into the mid 50s. And then you can, possibly use 50 as a stop loss. It's a little wide, I think. It seems like it's an IPO. It's been out since March the 20th. We got a, all-time low here of 50.61. So I definitely wouldn't want to see that get taken out. So I would do a little bit more fundamental stuff. Is there news that's predicted to come out in the next, couple months? We got earnings that came out on May the 7th. So that's kind of, past due. Next earnings is August the 6th. I would keep all that stuff in mind. John, next, USM. USM extremely strong here, it looks like. Wow, crazy breakout here. So I'm guessing that's on news. Am I going to be a guy trying to buy the highs here, looking for another crazy move? No. Are there maybe little day trades and scalps that could be made here? Yeah, sure. I mean, you could play yesterday's high through the $60 level and maybe catch a couple more dollars. At one point, though, right, stocks don't just go up. So use your risk management. Don't get caught in any sort of crazy pullback and start bag holding. Have set stop losses. Have good levels. I think right now a pretty key level to me is going to be around this 49, 48 level. And then obviously you can kind of consider that $50 level as well. So anywhere in that $2 range, that's going to kind of be, I would maybe even look for something like this, maybe even a little pullback, see this hold for a little bit, and then maybe see it go for highs. To me, that's a safer trade. Like I said, do I want to buy it here for expecting another move up to like in the 80s? No. I would look to day trade this, look for a pullback, try to get some better pricing and let that go. Later, Farouk. Also short-term. Okay, covered that. What else we got up in here? Thank you, Farouk. Welcome, John. Welcome, Fat Cat. I was curious because they're involved in NVIDIA's chip production. I'm going to keep an eye on them. Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, I don't, let's see, what ticker was it? ALAB. Yeah. So if ALAB is involved with NVIDIA, I mean, anything that's involved with NVIDIA, it's worth keeping eyes on for sure. Let's see, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I know we do have some live trading tomorrow. Let's see if it's free or premium here. So live trading tomorrow in the trading floor. So it's going to be a premium stream tomorrow. Premium guys, hope you make some money. I'll give my trade ideas in my day trades by Ethan chat tomorrow morning as per usual. Duca, so he's going to be an intern, or he is an intern. He's awesome. Yeah, Ethan Tuesday night special. Yeah, we got the boss man himself, Mr. Quinchin here tonight. dropping some knowledge. And there you go. There's your 25% off code there. Nice, Fat Cat. So for anyone on other platforms, we just had a free member in here get a 25% off code on Stocks Buddy. That's awesome. And the coaching program. Wow, I missed that. 25% off the coaching program and Stocks Buddy. That's awesome. Look at this. Quinch giving out, just blessing people tonight. Another discount code coming for another free member. Someone else looking for a link to the premium coaching. I think I should have the link right here. Wait, nope, that's a YouTube link. 1 second. Quint sent it up here. The intro vid. Here we go. There you go. Here's the other link you sent as well, so you can see the intro video. Look at you guys getting. I love it. These guys are lucky. Yeah, I know a ton of worse indicators that are priced way higher. So I mean, you're just giving this out. This is awesome. I mean, free members, there's a ton of free members that that are going to be jealous at this. So for you guys that are in here tonight trying to learn, like Quinn said, a lot of people probably just watching TV, watching YouTube, whatever. They're missing out. So great job, guys. We're always here to help y'all. Get your friends in here. We got affiliate codes and stuff, man. You can get paid for life. A little bit of passive income on the side. DM one of us, Fuzion, and we'll get you hooked up. Get your friends in here. And yeah, doing nothing. That's great. And coming from a I don't know if you free guys know me very well, but I mean I got 1 more year left of college. So I mean learning trading as a skill is I mean it's priceless. Stay in here, learn, and it's pretty nice to be able to work from your desk for an hour in the morning and make your money and run while your friends have to go to work. I'm going to reply to this. How much would you need in your day trading wallet? Well, it kind of depends on what kind of money you're making. I mean, obviously, right? No, not everyone can have a big account, but the goal is to start slow, maybe even start paper trader. Again, it's a skill. Once you learn this, it's just kind of you can exponentially grow your money. So over a couple years, maybe you start out making 20 bucks, 50 bucks, $100. And then that turns into a couple $100 in a week, and then maybe a couple $100 in a day. And then, over some time, you're hitting 4-figure days. That's the beauty of exponential growth, guys. Yeah, it's amazing. Man, I should know that. That's an Einstein thing, right? Yeah, huge reason we did coaching. I mean, obviously, in the beginning of anyone's trading career, you kind of don't know what's going on and you try to look all different ways. That's why we did this. We want you to focus with one coach and actually spend a few months with them, right? That's why we do a 90-day coaching session, right? We do 12 different lessons. We do live trading. We have personal one-on-one meetings with you guys. Um, we do a lot, but we do it because we want you to focus on one thing, and then you can move on to the next. Once you master the Rolodex of all these strategies, I mean, it's like Quinn said, it's like we're teaching you how to put an ATM in your bedroom. Yeah, a ton of free streams going on. It's great, man. Well, Quinch, I was up at 4 a.m. today, going to work, so I'm gonna probably wrap things up here. If you want to take over, go for it. Thanks for coming in. Um, looks like he's still here. Okay, cool. Well, guys, thanks as always for showing up. This was such a fun stream. This was probably one of my favorites. I'm glad a bunch of you guys um, got some discount codes. This is amazing. So, Farouk, I went over Brookshire in the day trading chat. So if you want to go back and look at that, if not, I will text you on the side tonight. But I've had a really long day, so um, can't wait to get back to work with you guys in the morning. It looks like it could be a very fun into the week these next few days. So let's get some sleep and let's kill it tomorrow, guys. You all have a good rest of the night, and I'll see you bright and early. Later.